every international star dreams of appearing here at the world-famous London Palladium. Most performers have to wait years for the privilege, but singing for the Queen Mother and Prince Charles in this year's Royal Variety performance is a girl who until recently was completely unknown. Her name is Sheena Easton, and her story is one of a meteoric rise to fame. 2 years ago, she was a 19-year-old drama student in Glasgow. Now she's a big star with 4 hit records behind her. It all began when we gave her the chance to make a pop record for the big time. February 1979. Tonight, Sheena has broken off studies to sing for a few pounds at a dinner dance for dentists. Most singers start at functions like this. Most of them never get any further. But Sheena is in with a chance. After we chose her from hundreds of would-be pop singers, EMI agreed to give her an audition. If she impresses, she'll be allowed to make a record, and she might get a contract. The dream of every unknown singer struggling to become a star. Sheena was 5 when she decided she wanted to be a pop singer. She knew that it would be a long, hard climb to the top. But suddenly, there's a chance to leave her bedsit high above Glasgow and be signed up by EMI. At school, Sheena once played Snow White, even though she was shorter than the 7 Dwarfs. Now, if she passes an audition, she can anticipate starring in a Cinderella story.
If I pass the audition? Well, I feel very pleased, honoured, you could say, very flattered. I'm delighted. I still can't quite believe that it's happening, and I won't believe that it's happening until after I pass the audition, if I pass the audition.
Bells Hill Council Estate just outside Glasgow, where Sheena, the youngest of 6, was born. As the audition approaches, it's an anxious time for her widowed mother, Nan.
I'll be nervous for her, you know, for her. Because whenever any of my family's got anything difficult to do, I would rather do it for them, if I could, you know, than let them do it, you know, sort of style. I'll be nervous until she phones me and says what's happened, you know.
Help! I need somebody help, not just anybody help.
The day of the audition. In the next few hours, Sheena will either be signed up or sent packing back to Glasgow.
I'm just worried in case I don't do as well as I know I can do. And do my best. It's going to be very off-putting knowing who's there. It's these faceless names, the people high up in the pop business. It'll be almost like being a judge.
The final verdict rests with the boss of artists and repertoire, Brian Shepherd.
We're making sound-type records. It's the sound, it's the overall sound of the record. For that, the girl obviously has to have, she has to please the eye when you look at her. She has to have a good voice. She's got to be able to sing, obviously. But it can be done with the record.
What happens if you don't like her?
Then you ain't got a program, have you?
How are you feeling?
In a mild state of panic, a mild state of shock, but I don't feel as bad as I thought I would feel. I think I've got a lot of people around me that are rooting for me, so that's helping to steady me a bit. But whenever the faces actually walk into the room, sit down, and the first chord is struck in the piano, that's when the nerves will start. But hopefully, whenever I start to sing, they'll go. I don't feel just as bad as I thought I might, but it's the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. Definitely the worst. I'd rather go to the dentist any day than suffer this again. But it's in a good cause, so it's worth it.
For the jury, this is just another trial. For Sheena, it's a chance of a lifetime.
Whenever you're ready,
Okay.
Maestro.
By my window, waiting for someone to sing me his song. So many dreams I kept deep inside me, alone in the dark. Now you've come along. I got the music in me. 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 Feeling like I never lost you. I'm feeling like I never have you again in my arms. Feeling for all my life. I feel it. I wish I'd never met you, boy. You never come again. Again in my arms.
Thank you.
Now for the moment of decision, but not until Sheena has left the room.
I mean, for mine, interesting choice of numbers. I mean, she didn't exactly make it easy for herself.
Yeah, that first one was got to be one of the
First one was
hardest.
all in the low register, which
Yeah.
is difficult when you're nervous.
Which didn't help for her. I mean, her throat was as tight as a tick, poor devil. I mean, she was really... And,
What do you think visually? I thought she looked good, actually.
I think,
improved,
yeah, I
but
mean, yes, I think, I mean, for me, that was fairly instant.
Yeah.
I mean, when we walked in the room. I mean, that's the first decision you make. For me, it was fine. And she's got some talent. I mean, there was talent standing there. And that was the main thing. It wasn't just somebody trying to sing a song for the sake of making a record. She's got emotion in her voice. There was expression there, and you know, she did it for me. I think we go ahead. I say yes.
Yeah, well,
In the
I
words of the
certainly
song,
agree.
she's got the music in her.
Oh, you are so camp.
Try.
Do we know exactly how long she's done it for? I mean,
Well, we'll find that out now.
can
Okay.
you let me know?
Here we come, the three wise men. Okay, there we go. You did it. All right. You passed.
God, thank God. I couldn't have gone through this if I hadn't.
The truth of it was you'd done it about halfway through the first song, but we had to go through with the others
Boy.
because they wouldn't let. You know, it was this lot. They wouldn't let you off. They wanted blood.
No, it's all it's worth it now.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now we start some hard work.
Yeah.
And now comes the big hunt for the song, which is just a minor problem. Looking for the elusive hit song. The
the good news hasn't yet reached Glasgow. But as soon as she finishes her shift at the factory, Sheena's mother will be standing by for the phone call.
Hello? Well, I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. I've got it. Oh, I know. I've just heard just right this minute. I still can't believe it. I don't think I'll ever recover. I think I can go through anything now.
A true star.
So, oh no!
This is where the fun stops and starts and stops, and we get down to some hard work. But we will. I'll toast your success.
Thank you. First time I've ever tasted this. I hope it's good.
Is it really? Oh, well, then you're going to have to start getting an acquired taste for the stuff. Some more glasses here. One for the piano player.
That's nice.
Okay.
Really? Oh, well, then you're going to have to start getting an acquired taste for the stuff.
Happy?
Oh, happy. I can't explain how I feel.
No?
I think at the moment I feel
Thank you. Well, you better come in on this.
relief. I won't feel anything properly until tonight. When I'm home, I'm sitting down, and suddenly it'll hit me. That's like everything else. It hits me later. I can't believe it. Ever since the start of everything, it's just been like a dream. And I'm frightened in case I wake up.
Just pull a collar up.
Sheena was signed up for a year with living expenses and sufficient advances to move to a flat in London. EMI have faith in her because it can cost £10,000 to launch a new artist.
Fingers into your hair.
This is the first of many photo sessions for the marketing men who will decide how to package her.
Without getting too porno, can you just undo the next button?
You'll probably just see a bit of a beige bra, so it won't be too sexy.
I wouldn't worry about it.
That's it. Now bring your fingers, spread your fingers, and dig them into the hair. Just get your head up a little bit. Yes.
I don't have that little. I spoke and I ruined it.
I got the music in me. 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 I got the music. Pretty music. I got the music in me.
The new pop singer meets one of the greats.
It's really hard to do. It sounded good.
Sheena has always been a fan of Dusty Springfield. Now she seeks Dusty's advice on whether she needs to invent an image.
I think you can only... I don't think Sheena can, and I don't think that I can. I didn't invent an image. It just sort of grew on me like fungus or whatever it is. It was an extension of me. I didn't sort of say, well... Yeah, I did say at 17, I'm going to invent Dusty Springfield, but it was an extension of Mary O'Brien Convent Schoolgirl. And I think that's what she's probably got. And I think that there are too many people flashing around saying, you got to develop an image, kid. I think that, you know, singing and songs are the things that are the most important thing. An image comes when you present yourself to the public, and the public really kind of accept you or they don't accept you. You know, trying to invent something that's not natural to you will be a disaster. Unless you paint your face white and go on in whiteface and do mime. You know, that's different. But she's a singer.
Or have your face white and lots of black around the eyes.
That was not invented. I thought that was quite chic at the time. We all learn for a long period of time.
Do you find that you feel that you have to wear makeup and good clothes in case someone comes along for an interview or anything anytime?
Oh, it took me 6 years to let anybody from room service in a hotel see me without my eye makeup. So, yes, I would say I had a complex about that. I think it's important to look good most of the time, and it's an effort that you have to make. And I think you should have a good public face.
Do you think that Sheena has got to be careful in the business? Are there certain things you would advise her not to do?
Yeah, I'd advise you, just to stay away from excesses of any kind. just to try and keep us healthy in your body and your mind. I'm not going to preach to you, but that's the only way you can stay in one piece, is to have the stamina to do it. And that means staying healthy. Whatever way you do it, I don't know. But for God's sake, stay healthy, because it's the only way to last.
Excesses, meaning excesses...
Well, don't drink too much. Don't get into...
Anyway.
Good girl. Don't take pills. Don't do all that stuff that eventually you might run into. Because they'll only drag your throat down and eventually do you some damage. So she's sensible. You know, I don't see that many problems in that area for her.
Were you sensible in the early days?
In the early days, yes. But I'm generally an immoderate person. So those things, I ran into problems there. I don't think she's going to. I ran out of them, too. I ran into them, looked at them, said, yuck, and ran out of them. A lot of people do. The pressures are extreme.
5 months after the audition, and at long last, Sheena is going to start recording.
In Modern Girl, you know the E minor section? Bum, bum, bum.
The record business has its own jargon. Anything successful is hot. There are hot sounds and hot record producers. And one of the hottest is Chris Neal, who's produced hits for $1. EMI went after him and signed him up to produce Sheena's first single, Modern Girl.
How are we doing, Nick? Next.
Chris Neal spends a long time getting the right backing sound, so today Sheena can just relax and become familiar with her song.
Over this, you get all the When EMI played me the cassettes of Sheena singing, I was very pleased. I thought it was a great voice, a voice that I think I could make good records with. But then the major problem remained to find the right songs. And it's taken me a good few weeks.
Do you think you've got them now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And do you think there'll be hits?
Yes.
Bray in Berkshire. Edward VII built this house for his mistress, Lily Langtry. Now it's the home of singer Dorothy Squires, who started in show business at 16 and is still doing things her way nearly 40 years on. Dorothy Squires is an expert on the ups and downs of the business. She's also a lady with very strong opinions and is never afraid to say exactly what she thinks.
Sheena, that was absolutely super. I think you can be a big star. Really, I adore your voice.
Dorothy, how important do you think it is for Sheena's first record to be a hit?
If she doesn't get a hit record, then with the recording costs today, they may try her with another one. She may create a noise with the first one. On the other hand, it may be a runaway bestseller. I sincerely hope it is for her sake, you know. But actually, John, it would be better for her if it wasn't a hit, the first one, or the second one, so that she can go out and learn the business. She learned, John, then, to reach the back of that theatre, to hold the back of that, even the back table of an audience, or the highest, the seats of the London Palladium. I look like a fly on the stage. In a way, John, for her sake, she's got time. I sincerely, and I don't mean this in any other way that I'm giving it to you, I hope her first 3 records are flops so that she becomes a performer.
But if her first 3 records are a flop...
Then she has to go out and learn the business. It took me years of every dump, people throwing pennies at me on the stage, having to go through it. I had tomatoes thrown at me, apples thrown at me. I did my 5 songs and walked out of there. That's what makes you performers. And if she gets a hit record, she'll never become a star. Never. Because the sharks won't allow her to. They'll bleed her dry.
Not painting a very rosy picture of the business.
The business isn't a rosy picture.
Is it worth going into then?
Yes, it is. I'll tell you why it's worth going into. I never would have seen Hollywood. I never would have played the Moulin Rouge in Hollywood. It's worth everything. My God, you must be joking. I wouldn't have missed it. It's the greatest business in the world. Because, may I say this, you must have a hell of an ego. We all have. To think that we can entertain the public. To walk on that stage is not very easy. And there are pitfalls. And of course it's worth going into. Because if you can hold an audience in the palm of your hand, sometimes make them laugh, sometimes make them cry even yourself. That's all worth everything.
Sheena, has anything, Dorothy said, put you off wanting to be a pop singer?
No. It's made me more determined to be like Miss Squires, to succeed, to get through it all.
Isn't that super? I'm glad. I mean, if anybody had written that answer for her, it was absolutely the answer I would expect from somebody as hep as she is. In other words, the personality. This one has it. With or without a record, she's going to be a major star.
Build her world, ran no single man, but she's getting...
The music tracks are almost complete. Now it's the vocal backing, led by the producer, who used to be a pop singer himself.
All she wants to be is a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl.
In keeping with the song, EMI have decided to set about Sheena, to turn her into a modern girl. Do you feel any different?
I look younger to myself, and I feel lighter. Maybe it's just the physical weight from the shoulders, and I feel, I don't know, pressure, and sort of ready to go, you know.
You know you make me wanna shout. Look my hands jumping, look my heart.
17 years ago, another young Scot was launched as a pop singer. Lulu, a butcher's daughter from Glasgow, moved up the charts with Shout and has now moved up in the world. She was discovered and groomed by her manager, Marion London. Does Marion think Sheena too has got what it takes to become a pop star?
No, I would not have thought so. As a matter of fact, what I think of Sheena is that she's exceptionally pretty, and I would imagine that she would photograph beautifully. She has great confidence, she's very cool. I think she'd make a wonderful film star. I could see her on the big screen very easily. Or in a television series, acting and singing too. No. But as a pop, I see her more that way
than as a pop
star of the 80s. That's my opinion.
What's missing, in your opinion?
Rugged individuality. Without meaning to offend you in any way, she's just not different enough the way she is. You are not different enough the way you are. I shouldn't talk to you about Sheena, should I? You know what I mean?
I mean, if you look at the charts, if you look at the people who are actually hitting the charts, they're a very mixed bag, aren't they?
If you were launching Sheena now, what would you dress her in?
Entirely differently. I'd have to give it some thought, though. You know, it's hard to say just off the top of my head, but I would change her hair completely, change her makeup, and change her clothes completely and utterly.
She's just had her hair done.
Well, sorry about that. It's beautifully cut, but I think something much more interesting could be done with it. Mind you, not that she needs, I mean, she's got beautiful skin and lovely eyes. I mean, I'm not saying she needs a lot of makeup, but I would just do more interesting things.
It's a pity about the hair, isn't it?
Not really.
No, that's just my opinion, you know. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me.
Of course, and as you saying it on television, people saying, no, 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 leave your hair the way it is. It's lovely, it's lovely. She's very neat, and she's such a good-looking girl. You know, you could actually do a lot of things with her.
You could spoil her, though, could you not? If you
spoil her,
I could. But what do you mean spoil her?
Spoil
I could
her
spoil her by other people's standards. But you're asking me what I think. I think there could be a vast improvement. I think she could be startling looking, sensational looking, rather than just a neat, pretty girl.
Try just giving me a rather angry frown. Can you say porridge? Porridge. That's wonderful. Suits you. There again. Good. Take care.
Now,
Good.
photographs by the Queen's cousin, Lord Lichfield.
Keep it open. It's good. You won't mind if Chalks' nose is in the shot, will you? No, on your record out, on your... Lie down. That's nice.
Just one of these pictures will be chosen for the sleeve of Sheena's first record, when it's completed, which should be today.
I've been through the photo session. I think that's far more grueling. That was really nerve-wracking, because I'm just not used to that sort of thing. But singing is the thing I do. And it's the first real singing I've done for a long time. And I'm just ready to get into it.
Okay, we'll do it again. It's getting more relaxed, but I need it even more, and bop about. Keep singing along.
Sounds terrible. I just feel as if the nerves are getting the better of me at the moment.
Relax. For God's sake, relax! When you're bopping about, be careful you don't go off the mic too much, because you tend to come and go. All right?
She don't build her world round no single man, but she's getting by, doing what she can. She is free to be what she wants to be. All she wants to be is a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl.
Come in here, I'll have a quick word with you.
Even the most experienced singers run into voice problems. Today, Sheena can't get it right, so the session is cancelled. The good news is that the Lichfield pictures have turned out well.
Oh yeah, she's quite nice, isn't she?
Very pretty girl.
Now, a team of top graphic artists has been called in to design the sleeve for Sheena's record, the bag, as it's known in the trade.
But the problem is that in the shops, there's going to be...
Well, she's going to be lining up against
10 other singles,
Diana Ross, Kate Bush, and a million other pretty girls.
and so on. So she's got to be made that much more distinctive, or at least the bag has got to be made that much more distinctive. If you're advertising baked beans or margarine or something, you have an established background from which to work. If you've got a situation like this, you've got a one shot. At this point in time, nobody knows who Sheena Easton is. No one knows what she sounds like. So we've got this one short period of time in which to make a lot of people aware of her.
Yes.
Tonight, Sheena is back in the recording studio. This is her big time. Her whole future as a pop singer depends on the performance she gives now.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
You hear me, yes?
Yes.
Right, I'm going to be very picky. I'm going to split lots of hairs at the moment, so don't worry if it sounds like I'm being a bit finicky.
Whenever I'm doing anything wrong, like going flat or whatever, could you let me know, as you hear me doing it, could you let me know at the start, so that I don't keep doing it, so that I get it fixed from the beginning?
We'll come out and smash your face in.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Relax!
He wakes and says hello, turns on the breakfast show. She fixes coffee while he takes a shower. Hey, that was great, he said. I wish we could stay in bed, but I got to be at work in less than an hour. She manages a smile as he walks out the door. She's a modern girl who's been through this movie before. She don't build her world round no single man, but she's getting by, doing what she can. She is free to be what she wants to be. No, she wants to be is a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl.
Fabulous.
Okay. It is better, but why not? I can hear when I'm going wrong.
She's been dreaming about him all day long. Soon as she gets home, it's him on the telephone. He asks her to dinner. She says, I'm not free. Tonight I'm gonna stay at home and watch my TV. I don't build my world round no single man, but I get by doing what I can. I am free to be what I want to be. All I want to be is a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl.
I can't wait to hear it. I mean, it sounds silly to you because you'd be used to it all this time because you keep making records, but for me, I've not made one. I can't wait to get the wee black piece of plastic. That'll make all the world of difference to me.
Build her world round no single man, but she's getting by, doing what she can. She is free to be what she wants to be. All she wants to be is a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl.
The man in a hurry is Brad Mizzle of EMI's promotion department. It's his task to convince radio stations, especially the BBC, that modern girls should be played on all their programmes. Pluggers do a lot of legwork and a lot of fast talking. Paul Williams, producer of Radio 1's Simon Bates Show.
I like it. Yeah, oh, good. Smells like a hit to me. Let me hear it again. But I like it.
Yeah? Think about do something with it? Give it some play?
Well, what we'll do is we'll give it a new spin, because I think it's definitely worth one, straight away, and I'll see if I can put it in Simon Bates Show, and we'll get Simon's reactions to it.
Italians, you better tell that girl to shut up, which is my record of the week. And why not? 4.5 minutes past 11. Radio 1 round table. Now, here's a lady I know nothing about, except she is physically very attractive. which puts her head and shoulders above a number of other people I can think of. Sheena Easton is her name. Lend an ear to a new EMI single called Modern Girl and tell me what you think of it.
What's just as important at this stage is what Simon Bates thinks of it.
I like it.
What did you like about it?
It's bouncy. It's got a lovely hook. That little bit where she goes, yeah, da, 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 da. And it's the sort of thing, Mr. Pittman, that if you were in the bath, I guarantee you'd be singing it by now. And thinking, where the hell did I hear that?
On your show.
Thank you, sir. Oh, man. It's nice. I like it.
Mike Hawkes, producer of Radio 1's Round Table.
Yeah, it's really quite uninteresting.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, I would say that's extremely tedious record.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's tedious. I mean, it's the first time you heard it. It might grow on you.
I don't think it'll grow on me at all. I think after about 30 seconds of that, it's quite enough for anybody.
Why didn't you like it, Mike?
There's nothing there to like. You've got a sort of fairly average singer there, singing a very average sort of song. It's of no interest to me whatsoever.
Now the verdict from Kid Jensen.
Well, it's certainly a commercial, catchy record. I think I'd have to hear it a couple more times to really form any opinion as to whether I think it would be a great big success or not. If nothing else, it establishes Sheena's voice, which is very distinctive, because there's a lot of competition now. There's a lot of girl singers, and her voice is certainly distinctly different from all the other girls, and I think that's important.
This is a big moment for Brad and Sheena. Every week, the BBC producers meet to select new releases to be played on daytime radio shows. This week's results are published on today's playlist. If Modern Girl hasn't made it, the record-buying public might never hear the new song or the new singer.
Okay, I suppose you want the news in. Well, the news is that we got a record of the week on Simon Bates.
Good, that's great. Let me see.
Yeah. You can keep that if you want.
I will. I'll keep it. I'll frame it.
All right, frame it.
Record of the week. I mean, that's guaranteed. My record might be played 5 times, you know, and counting the twice because it was on DLT this morning.
Did you hear it?
I did. 6:10. I was up there. So that might be 7 times my record's been on the radio, you know. I'll be glued to that radio all day. You realise that? That's my social life now. You know, sitting there wired up to it.
In the next few weeks, Modern Girl gets a lot of airplay. It became a capital climber, and the Scottish supporters put it into the Tartan 40. But the one that matters is the official Top 75. If a record makes that chart, it's a hit. And it does. Today, Sheena is on standby for Top of the Pops, the show that can take a record to the top. But the deal is she'll only be booked if Modern Girl has moved up this week's charts. Phil Bishop, the producer, gets the results on a hotline.
Sheena Easton has gone down 2 places.
The receiver of the bad news is Jeff Atherton, EMI's head of promotion.
Gone down 2? Yeah, 62 from 60. So thank you and good night.
I thought we were going up to 52.
No. Better go back and tell her.
Thank you very much. Oh well, next one, Phil. Next one.
It's not unusual for Jeff Atherton to have to come to terms with disappointments like this, but it will be a new experience for Sheena. One consolation, however, is that she's now found a manager, Dee Carlin, who will know how to cope.
Yeah, we went down.
Did we?
We went down?
How many places?
60 to 62.
Never mind. Never mind.
Disappointed?
Yes, I'm disappointed. But I'm not devastated by it. I think I've got to learn to cope with disappointments like that early on. And the thing that balances it out is that it's a good week for me this week. If it was a bad week or a boring week, then it would be really bad. But I mean, we've got a TV show that I'm doing this week for ATV, and the follow-up 95 should be finished this week. So that's kept me up.
Baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 till 5.
A new single and a new contract for Sheena. EMI have signed her for another year and she'll eventually make an album. Deke, her manager, has high hopes for the future.
Yes, positively yes.
I mean, I think, so it puts rid of the myth that people in the pop business are dumb and stupid and thick and I bought my mother an house and it's not bad, but it's better than the one, you know, all those old images of pop singers has gone. She's just destroyed that image. She's very bright and I'm very excited about managing her career. I think she will be a very big star here.
Do you know what's happening next?
No, I don't.
No, you're relying on me again, aren't you?
No.
Well, I've got a feeling it's a piece of music, and it comes from a lady called Sheena Easton.
Yes, I know her well.
It looks like rain again. She takes a train again. She's on her way again through London town.
Having dropped in the charts, Modern Girl climbed back up again to number 56 and sold more than 20,000 copies. And as well as appearing on ATV, Sheena was booked by the BBC for this award-winning show, which is watched by 7 million viewers.
I've now got the courage and slightly better taste through my good guidance to dress and to look and to do my face, do my hair, the way that I always felt inside. I mean, the tweed skirts are gone, the long messy hair is gone. I'm beginning to, my inside is beginning to come out now.
Do you feel good, like you are now?
I feel good. I've got a lot to feel good about. I know that sounds terrible, but this has been the best experience in my life so far. And even if 5 years' time, you know, it's all gone and I'm singing in the Glasgow club circuit again or Manchester club circuit or whatever, I've got something to tell my grandkids about.
He wakes and says hello, turns on the breakfast show. She fixes coffee while he takes a shower. Hey, that was great, he said.
Her eyes are really nice. But as soon as we get into a chorus, it all sort of falls about a little bit.
She's a modern girl who's been through this movie before. She don't build her world around no single man, but she's getting by, doing what she can. She is free to be what she wants to be. All she wants to be is a modern girl. Na 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 na. She's a modern girl.
5 months later.
Here comes a lady who you may have seen on The Big Time. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Great. She's a lady who's called Sheena Easton.
Not the Sheena Easton that the BBC turned down.
Turned her down, that's right.
They don't make many mistakes, mate, but when they do, they're rude.
Here she comes.
Sheena.
Shortly after the Big Time film was transmitted, Sheena Easton really did hit the big time. Modern Girl reached the top 10 and Sheena finally made it onto Top of the Pops.
He wakes and says hello, turns on the breakfast show. She fixes coffee while he takes a shower. Hey, that was great, he said. I wish we could stay in bed, but I got to be at work in less than an hour. She manages a smile as he walks out the door. She's a modern girl who's been through this movie before. She don't build her world around no single man, but she's getting by, doing what she said. I think of him, remember.
Sheena's second single, 9 to 5, was an even bigger hit, and she became the first girl singer to have 2 records in the top 10 at the same time since Ruby Murray way back in the 50s.
When he says, "Stop that train," I'm into the ball, a fight. Work all day to earn his pay, so we can play all night. My baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 to 5, and then he takes another home again to find me waiting for him. He's always on that morning train. He works from 9 to 5.
Well done, Sheena. Excellent. Yes, well done. It's nice to see someone succeed.
9 to 5 is now a worldwide hit for Sheena, and today everybody seems to know who she is and what she does.
And the music starter. I want the title and the singer of this song, and here it is. Aberystwyth Harley.
It's Sheena Easton, 9 till 5.
9 to 5, Sheena Easton, correct. 10 points to Aberystwyth. Bad luck, Bedford this time, and that
February this year, and the all-important British Rock and Pop Awards.
The winner of the British Rock and Pop Awards 1980, the best female singer is Sheena Easton.
That's super. Turn it round. Let them all see it at home. I can see you're itching. You must say a word.
I must say something. First of all, I'd just like to say how special it is for me. And to everyone who made the effort to write in and vote for me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sheena Easton.
Thank you, Sheena. Thank you, Nicky.
How about that?
It's special, isn't it? Because it's everybody all over Britain, and they decided to do it. I just took it, I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but I just took it for granted Kate Bush was going to get it. I mean, I got the Capital Radio Best Newcomer last week, and I was delighted because I thought, well, I mean, there aren't that many newcomers in 1980, so I've got to be in the running for it, you know. There's an awful lot of good female vocalists around, and to think that the public actually singled me out is something different.
The girl is a big star now, and it's nothing to do with me anymore. She is a very big star. And when I see her go down and pick up an award like that, voted by the British public, who are fab, all publics, they're all fab, because they really know. They're the people who really know. We make all the rules and the regulations, but they're the people who really know. And when the British public have voted her and said, yeah, she is fab, then I'm proud.
I think the most special thing for me out of the whole year and a half, was my first tour. That, for me, was it. Because it had been a long time, the dentist convention, in fact, since I'd sung in front of anybody. And to get up on stage and sing in a theatre full of people and do it, I mean, a tour, to actually say you're on tour, not you're appearing at Airdrie Miners Club or something like that, to actually do a tour.
When I was young, people used to say, someday the right one will come your way. Could be tomorrow, could be today, but when he does, you'll know it right.
Dorothy Squires says this is what sorts out the real stars. Live performances, learning to hold an audience in the palm of your hand, reaching the back of a theatre, out there on your own, away from the protection of the recording studio where they can create sound and iron out flaws.
And so I waited patiently. Will it be like my fantasy? The only problem I can't proceed. Will I find him or...
Some critics have said that Sheena has been packaged like frozen peas or toothpaste. But after the London concert, which sold out, one reviewer claimed that she could become one of Britain's leading singers.
The thing that's happened for Sheena has got to be Disneyland. I mean, it's got to be every kid's dream. Because exactly what happened is true. There was a girl who wanted to be a star. A straightforward, solid ambition. And through a chain of totally innocent events, she got involved in making a television documentary, and all the way through that, the television documentary said, will she, will she, will she? And she said, yes, I will. I'm talented, I can sing. And the producer, all of those things the public saw. So it must be an amazing event to be one of the public and to have sat in your home and said, I think she'll make it, and had an argument over a cup of tea and all of that. And she's made it.
Everybody says to me, what does it feel like? And you can't describe how it feels, because it's like everything snowballing and mounting up. I mean, when I did the Royal Variety, that was another thing that I thought, oh wait a minute, somebody's kidding me on here. I thought Deke was kidding me on, but he wasn't.
Miss Sheena Easton.
In Britain, Sheena Easton is now a star. But to become an international star, you have to conquer America. And she has. She's just been signed to sing the theme song in the new James Bond movie. And this week, she has a #1 hit in America.
This man's a child. This man is old. Sometimes he's mild. Sometimes he's bold. This man I love. Sometimes in spite, wishing he'd stick to his guns or abandon the fight. But when he shines, oh, when he shines, yes, when he shines so bright.
Obviously, a lot of my dreams are tied up with success, because I've got success now, but it's like you can't relax, you can't ever relax and think, oh well, I've done it. Because if you think, well, I've done it now, what the hell are you doing in 10 years' time? Because I want to keep singing. That's what I am. Also, I want to be happy all the time. I still sit up in the morning and think, are you going to take it away from me? Do you know? When do I pay for all this? What's going to happen? Because it's the happiest time of my life and I don't want to lose it. It's impossible to stay on top and have this feeling for the rest of my life, but I want it.
Most stars have to fight to reach the top. For Sheena Easton, it's been comparatively easy. But the one question everybody asks is, would she have made it without the help of the big time? The honest answer is no one will ever know.
I had to have that conceit or confidence, whatever anybody likes to call it, to think that if the big time had gone against me and showed me up to be a complete talentless fool, I would have made it eventually. Much later, I would probably still be struggling my way through the bands in London. I would have come to London and tried working through that way. And all the immediate dreams that I wish for, the big time helped me get. And I'll always, always be thankful for that.